All right, so let's look at a couple examples here with rational equations. Okay, so we're going to start with x is equal to 3 over x plus 1/2. So remember, anytime I'm going to solve an equation that involves any fraction, let's get rid of the denominator. So I'm going to multiply through. So multiply both sides by my least common denominator. So the least common denominator in this case would be 2x. So I'm going to multiply everything by 2x. And since sometimes when you're dealing with fractions, it's just easier to look at everything as a fraction, I'm going to think of these as a fraction as well. So now this will get distributed to every term on both sides of the equation, and I'm going to write this down step by step. So I have 2x over 1 times x over 1 is equal to 2x over 1 times 3 over x plus 2x over 1 times 1/2. And now let's just take it one step at a time. Remember, you can cancel any numerator with any denominator. So nothing to cancel here. This is 2x times x, which is 2x squared. I can cancel a factor of x here, which just leaves me with 6. And I can cancel a factor of 2 here, which just leaves me with x. So now I have eliminated all of the denominators. And so what you really want to ask yourself at this step is, what type of equation am I solving now? Because that's going to dictate your next step, right? Since I have the x squared, I know that this is a quadratic. So I'm going to set it equal to 0 and either factor or use the quadratic formula. So this is 2x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. So let's see if this thing will factor. So I know if it does, my only choices here are 2x and x. And then I can play with factors of 6, right, of -6 that are going to add to a -1. So let's see, if I use, let's see, maybe 3 and 2, what's going to happen with my inside and outside, right? Because that has to add to a -1. I would have, let's make that negative and that positive. So outside I would have -6x, and inside I would have plus 2x. So that would give me -4x, so that is a no. So let's try another combination. So what if we flip-flop that? What if we say that this is 3 and this is 2? Then I would have 3x minus 4x, and that would give me -1x. That's exactly what I want. So those are my factors, right? 2x plus 3 and x minus 2. Because when I multiply that back out, 2x times x equals 2x squared. Inside gives me 3x. Outside gives me -4x, which is -x. And 3 times -2 is -6. So we successfully factored. So now each factor gets set equal to 0. And this will give me 2x equals -3. So x is -3 over 2. And x is equal to 2. Now, what we want to be careful of is we do have to double check these. So here is the original equation. So note the domain on x here. X can't be 0 because I can't divide by 0. So I want to double check my solutions to make sure x can't be 0. And we got x to be -3 over 2 and x to be 2. So both of those solutions are okay. So I have two answers, -3 over 2 and 2.